What's going on, guys? Brandon. So I was in the DMV for 2 hours because I chose to go to the most northern and most western South Carolina DMV. So all the people from the rest of the United States who had to go to the South Carolina DMV were all at that one DMV. So that was a mistake. But anyway, long story short, got the MSO processing into a title. So I got the receipt. And I sent that to the Chevrolet store so they could rest easy, because otherwise they can get in trouble if the customer doesn't turn the MSO into a title. So just to explain to you guys why the dealerships aren't allowed to do it, is because if a customer wanted to export a car out of the United States, I know a lot about this stuff, like the reasons behind it all. Because it's been explained to me many times. If a customer were to export a car out of the United States, the MSO allows them to do that without ever paying taxes on the car. They can legally export it. It's not illegal to do that. But it's against General Motors rules. So General Motors needs there to be record that the taxes were paid and that the registration was paid. Now, South Carolina is a nightmare state, because South Carolina, it's a back and forth process 3 times. First, you have to get the title initiated. Then you have to get the registration paid, which is a huge sum of money in South Carolina. You got to pay a big property tax to get plates on your car. It's based off the value of the vehicle. Then, once you pay the property tax, then you go back to the DMV, and the DMV gives you your plates. Now, it used to be that the South Carolina DMV would print you title immediately, but they no longer do that no matter what you do. They've made that quote unquote illegal. Okay? Not illegal, that's not their procedure anymore. So they basically say, for security purposes, the titles must be mailed to you. So eventually the title will get mailed here in the next couple weeks. So then what I do is I get the dealership all the copies of everything, the front and back of the title, the front and back of the registration card. Right now they have the form that I filled out with South Carolina to get the title made. And I still have to go to the southernmost county of South Carolina, to Hilton Head, basically, to get the plates and the property tax taken care of, because I can't do that in this county that I'm currently in. Now, I might be able to do it over the phone, which I'm going to stop here in a second, but I wanted to go to the grocery and get some freaking water because I'm thirsty as hell. So, and I just passed the grocery a second ago because I was talking to you guys. So once I do that, I'm going to call them here in a second and see if I can't get it taken care of. They can see the titles processing in the computer so that I can get the, registration and plates. That way I can go back to the DMV with a receipt that says that I'm allowed to have plates. And then the dealership can really rest easy, because that's what they're really after at the dealership. They want to see if the car's registered. But by me giving them that receipt that the title has been at least applied for, I'm sure if they were to call South Carolina, they can verify it. So you got to get all this, the dealership back all this stuff, because the dealerships can get audited by General Motors and get in trouble. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that the maggots at General Motors corporate are going to try to give this dealership a hard time. What this dealership can throw back in General Motors' face is, we had everything back in our file at record pace by dealing with Mr. Byers. In other words, General Motors corporate, you can go fuck yourselves, because I play by the rules, and you guys are so ignorant you don't even know what the rules are, to be honest with you. South Carolina is a nightmare state. For instance, let me just explain what happens if the dealer initiates it. If the dealer does not collect the exact property tax, which they'd have to have a fucking crystal ball to do, or they have to hire a third-party agent to go down and pay $500 to some third-party agent to go down and figure out what the property tax is. Basically, the third-party agent goes to the DMV and does everything that I just did. And then they go to the property tax, because it's like this Wizard of Oz shit where you got to go get the property tax calculated for in person. While they sit there and act important, they can't just have an online portal that does it. They got to go. South Carolina is very old school. So then once you finally know what the property tax is, you have to send them a check for that. But the dealers don't know this. Dealers don't know anything about property tax. Dealers know about sales tax. They know nothing about property tax at the county level. So the dealer collects sales tax and they send in all the paperwork. 6 weeks later, if they're lucky, they get a rebuttal from South Carolina that says, hey, by the way, we need this property tax paid. And now the dealership's like, I don't even know what the fuck this is, because it's not a normal thing. So then the dealers eventually reach out to me, if I'm lucky. I usually have to hound the dealers. The dealers then say to me, you need to go pay your property tax. I say no, because you guys initiated the game. And they're like, what do you mean? When the dealers initiate the paperwork in the DMV and the county, I can't touch it. They won't let me get involved. I've tried. I've had Corvettes before. My first C7 Z06, no, it was my second one. My second C7 Z06, I didn't have a plate on that car for fucking 4 months. And the dealer wouldn't get me any more temporary tags, and I was losing my fucking mind on everybody, because the DMV will not work with the customer when the dealer is the one who sends them the paperwork. And get this, the dealer that I was dealing with at the time was North Carolina. So you'd think North Carolina and South Carolina being right next to each other, they'd know how to do it. And I'm not talking shit about the dealer. I'm not trying to talk shit about them, but South Carolina makes it extremely difficult for dealers to get the license and license plate registration, title work, all that stuff done. It's like a big point in a circle game, and the dealers feel like they're going nuts. So I learned a long time ago, if there's any dealerships watching, okay, here's the secret to this whole fucking thing. Apply for title only. Have them mail the title back to you, the dealership, if possible. Apply for title only. Because when you apply for title only, you can still go into the South Carolina county office the same day as soon as the title is processing. So that's how I had to do it, because I don't know what the property tax amount is yet. So I apply for title only, which is a legal procedure in South Carolina. If you say title and registration, they won't make you the title and plates until you take care of the property tax, because they want to get their taxes. So you apply for title only. Title only is done. They used to print it the same day. Then what you have to do is, then you got to go to the county, Beaufort County, which is Hilton Head. I'm not there right now. I'm hundreds of miles away from there. So it's going to be closed by the time I get there. So I'm going in the grocery to get water. But the point is, now I can deal with Beaufort County and or the dealer. If you're listening to my instructions, you can then deal with whatever the corresponding county is. And now that the title is in the system, they can come up with their magical fucking property tax number that they couldn't tell you otherwise until the title's in the system. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. Anyway, hopefully that makes sense. Then you can send the check to the county. Once the county gets the check, then they'll give you a receipt to give to the DMV. Then you got to go back to the DMV and get your plates and registration. Hopefully that makes sense for all of you. See ya.